in this webinar, we'll talk about all about long-term investing in the Philippine stock market. So this way of investing is somehow an easier and stress-free way of investing in Philippine stock market. For those who are new to our webinar series, we actually had several webinars before. So in those previous webinars, we talk about how you guys can start investing in Philippine stock market, the open fund win strategy. So if you have not started, you can watch this previous webinar. We also talk about some tips, tricks, and traps for new Pinoy investors. Ito yung mga some guidance if you are just new to investing. So ano ba yung kailangang pag-iingat? Ano ba yung kailangang pagsusulit? Yan. Kailangan sulit yung pera mo na ilalagay mo sa stock market. So we discuss those things and other and basics if you have started investing. Kung may account ka na, so this is the webinar for you. So you can watch the replay of this sa website, smartpinoyinvestor.com. And another webinar we discussed before is how to get dividends in Philippine stock market. So this is one way of earning in investing in stocks, which is via dividends. So this is different from capital appreciation or capital gain na usually nararanasan when you are investing. So this is about getting dividends. So in that webinar, we talked about how an investor can be entitled to receive dividends. So paano ka ba makakatanggap ng dividends and how you can find stocks giving dividends. And then, after that, we discuss about, sa sobrang baguhan pa lang, how to process your opening account. So if wala pa kayong nasimulan, basically, you will need to open an account in one broker that you know. So in this webinar, we discuss how you can process that, especially dun sa mga outside Metro Manila and outside the Philippines. So usually mga Filipinos abroad or OFWs. So you can watch all those webinars sa website ko, which is smartpinoyinvestor.com/beginners. So in that page, you will learn the very basics of investing in Philippine stock market. Okay? So now, going back to our session, which is long-term investing in Philippine stock market. So in this webinar, you will learn some of the very basic strategies in stock market. So ano ba yung mga pwedeng strategies that you can do when you have started investing? We will highlight the easy investment program or the cost averaging method. So that is one strategy that you can have, which is the EIP or the cost averaging method. And then we'll tackle also the difference between SAM and EIP. So if you do not know SAM, you will learn it later. What is SAM and what is EIP and what are the differences. And finally, you will know where to get some stock picks if you're going to do long-term investing. Okay, first things first, we need to understand that when you are investing directly in stock market, so that way of investing gives you, as an investor, so much freedom. So pag nag-i-invest ka sa stock market directly, almost lahat ng pwede mong gawin is actually pwede. Most of your questions on strategies, okay, ang sagot doon ay oo. So if you're asking, pwede ba ako magbenta anytime? Di ba? So ang sagot doon ay oo. If you're asking, pwede ba ako magdagdag ng pera anytime? So ang sagot pa rin doon ay oo. Pwede ko ba kunin ng pera anytime? So if you're a direct investor, ang sagot doon ay oo. Pwede ko ba iwan lang yung pera? Halimbawa, maglalagay ka, iwan mo lang siya doon. Ano bang mangyayari doon? So pwede mo rin gawin doon. So ang sagot din doon ay yes. Okay, so pwede ko ba gawin ito? Most probably pwede, basta direct stock market investor ka. So ang point is, do not be focused too much on the tiny details of your strategy because you will learn more about it once you need them. Once you have an account, you will learn more of those things. So huwag kayong masyadong papahinto dun sa mga tiny details na yon. So what is more important is you actually start and get your feet wet. Open an account first if you do not have yet, and then find out what is the next step after that. Okay, so take one step after another. So now we'll talk about basic strategies. Diba? And we have to realize that the stock market strategies do not guarantee anything. So whatever strategy that you choose, there's no guarantee of the returns that you can have or that you can get. Ito yung madalas na maririnig natin. So historical performance does not guarantee future performance. So your success will depend on several factors, which includes your time, your talent, and your treasure. So ano ba itong time, talent, and treasure? So time ito yung tagal, kung gaano mo katagal ilalagak yung pera mo to stocks or to any type of investment. Okay? Yung talent naman is yung galing mo when to enter, when to exit, when to buy, when to sell. Kung gaano ka katalentado in that aspect. And then yung treasure mo naman is your capital. So how much are you going to put in investing? So ito yung three factors that basically affect how much returns you will get when you start investing. The time horizon that you have, the talent that or the skills that you have when it comes to entering and exiting, buying and selling, and the treasure or the capital. So madalas natin maririnig, one can start investing with 5,000 pesos. But sa totoo lang, 5,000 is very small. If you are planning to just put 5,000 sa stock market and you will stop at that, you will stop adding, so hindi rin ganun kalaki yung kikitain mo when it comes to investing. So the capital plays a major part in determining the returns that you can get from any investment. So not just the stock market. So those three factors, makikita nyo later, will factor in the basic strategies that I will share with you. So these are the basic strategies that we have. So strategy number 1, so before we go to long-term investing, this is called the buy and hold. So from the name itself, buy and hold. So for example, itong timeline na ito, so you start investing, for example, this year, 2015. So what you do when you consider or when you do buy and hold strategy is you buy one time. So let's say bibili ka ngayon 2015, meron kang let's say 100,000 pesos. So you put everything 100,000 pesos in one buy. And then you wait until sometime. So you hold the stocks, you do not add. So hindi ka bibili ulit. You do not sell for some time, but you just hold it. And then by some target time, so after buying and holding for quite some time, you start selling. Okay? So ano ba yung requirement nito? Obviously, para kumita ka sa ganyang strategy, what you need is an overall trend that is up. Definitely, hindi ka naman kikita if bumili ka dito, then suddenly, minalas-malas ka, the price starts going down until your target selling price. So yun yung risk when it comes to buy and hold. Kailangan sigurado ka na yung stocks na bibilhin mo will actually appreciate over time. And then second factor is you need to have substantial capital. Because kahit na umakyat pa siya ng todo-todo, if you started with a very small amount, hindi rin ganun kalaki yung returns mo dahil you started with tiny capital. So this buy and hold is ideal if you know or if you are confident that your stock or that your company that you will choose will actually appreciate over time. So isip kayo ng companies na mag-appreciate over time in the Philippines. Once nakapili ka na, sigurado ka na this stocks or this company will outlive all of us. So that's a candidate for buy and hold. And then you start buying it with your substantial capital. So pwede ka mag-buy and hold even with small capital but it will not give you so much even if malaki yung appreciation niya after some time. Okay? So lesson number 1 we have when it comes to buy and hold is this. Stock market does not move in straight line. Stock market always has fluctuations. So every day nagfa-fluctuate yung price niya. And in buy and hold, diba, you are not diversifying through time. So ang diversification pala is not only with stocks, it's not only with industries, it's not only with asset classes, but it's also diversification through time. So ano ba itong diversification through time? Usually, ang ginagawa ng iba na newbies is they start investing with 5,000 or 10,000 or even 20,000 and then they stop at that. So what happens when you start investing and you stop at that. Halimbawa, itong chart. So this is of November 27, 2015. And then ito yung kanyang year-to-date returns. So when you do buy and hold kasi, halimbawa nag-start ka ng 2007, so you buy at this point, and then you do buy and hold, so bumaba siya dito, di ba? 2008 global financial crisis. Pagtungtong ng 2011, di ba? So from 4 years or within that 4 years, nakabawi ka lang, no? So yun yung disadvantage ng buy and hold. Bumili ka dito, tapos bumaba siya, tapos umakyat siya, nakabawi ka by 2011. So imagine, from 2007 to 2011, walang nangyari doon sa pera mo because you just bought and you just hold. Because of that, buy and hold, you forgo buying at cheaper levels. So if we go back to that, there's actually an opportunity here where you can buy at lower levels. But because you're not buying and you're just holding, but you're just riding on the fluctuation. So you were not able to take advantage of the opportunity when the price levels were cheaper. So yun lang naman yung disadvantage nung buy and hold. And definitely, buy and hold requires some time and it requires some treasure, some bigger capital. So buy and hold requires longer time and bigger capital if you want to have bigger returns. So that is buy and hold. Second strategy that you can have is ito, market timing.